What's up, everybody? Hey, everybody, how you doing? This is one of those times that you have to get serious about um, the world around you. This is to me, this is considered like a red light addition to my show. Y'all know that I've been doing the Analytical Eye Show. If you haven't seen my show, go ahead and check it out on YouTube. Every Sunday, I talk about radical, racial, and it's geared towards black people, by a black person, by a black male. The Analytical Eye Show is designed to attack things at its core. And white people, you're not going to like what I have to say. And quite frankly, I don't give a damn. My ancestors have been speaking to me. They speak to me all the time. My slave ancestors, my African ancestors, the ancestors from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, my grandmothers, my love village, and the funny thing, you guys probably, my love village is very honest, very true, and there's only a select handful that have made it to my love village, and I'm always steadily adding people to my love village, but my ancestors are part of my love village. My grandmothers, my mom, a select few of my family, and only like 2 of my friends are part of my love village, where I go to seek advice, seek assistance, seek true help. And that's what the Analytical Eye Show is there for, is to spark conversations that don't get talked about a lot. We are always scared to have these conversations, or scared to have discussions about things that need to be talked about. You know what I'm saying? And there may be some things on the show that you may not like that I say, that may be taken out of context, but I'm not going to apologize for it, because then I would have to go back on what I said on my show, and that's one thing I do not do. Everything I say, I mean, and I mean what I say. And check out the show every Sunday. It's a lot of cussing, so beware to the kids. If you want to watch with your family, you can, but it's more so for the adolescent mind that is above age of probably 13, 14, where you can grasp the sense of what reality is. There's this poem that I've been trying to write. It's called Lethal Injection. And I knew this brother's album, Ice Cube, for the longest time. But I been thinking about this poem for so long, and I still haven't been able to write it because I don't know what to say. I get titles of poems all the time, but I don't know what words God wants me or the Spirit leads me to say until I'm either I'm asleep and I'm awakened and I can't go back to sleep and something is whispering to me, or if I'm watching something and then it sparks something, or if I can be around the house singing and the next thing you know, oh shit, this is what I need to say. That's the thing that sucks about poetry. You have to be a slave to it. And my ancestors speak to me all the time, so it's a lot of chatter, I should say, that I go through to write my poetry. And I have very few poems, not because I don't want to write a lot, it's because I can't force write it. A lot of this shit I write is hard, raw, tough. Sometimes the writing is easy, and then sometimes the writing is a labor, and it's a pain. And sometimes I have to force it out of me. and I have to sit there and I have to rattle my brain. And there's very few that I do that because I haven't been too focused on it, but sometimes it can be rough. But I'm here with y'all today because I feel like a lot of chatter is going around racially where we aren't being heard as black people. And one thing I have to say is I don't like the fact that black people are considered part of the general population when it comes to I don't like the fact that black people are connected and intertwined with this whole racial thing that's going on. You know, they call us the minorities, but blacks aren't minorities, we're black people. The reason why when you see me on my show say minorities and blacks is because the things that happen to minorities as a whole is different from what has happened to blacks and still happening to blacks. I single us out because we need to be singled out in our wants, our desires. The things that happen to minorities don't happen to black people. And the things that happen to black people don't happen to minorities. You know, and there's specific things that we need to go to not only the government, but to white people about and address them head on. The discrimination in the workplace. Black people, we have to often hold our tongue and can't say things because we're not in a position where we can say things without a fear of losing our job or anything like that. Racial comments or commentary. You know, a lot of times as black people, we just brush things off. One of the things I'll be talking about on this upcoming show, this past show, I did the week before last, I did an episode, that is entitled White People Really Don't Like Blacks. And I'm so glad that I did that episode because although I have white teachers, white friends that I've had in the past, people that I work with that are white, I really honestly feel that white people at any moment can click and switch, and we go back to the Jim Crows. We go back to the time where oppression was. I mean, to tell you the truth, oppression is at its all-time high. I think oppression has always been at its all-time high with black people. We never had a sense of normalcy in our sorry, y'all. My phone fell. I feel like we've never had a sense of, like, sensibility, you know, with us. And on that episode, there was a comment made about what is there to like about black people. You know, what I have to say to my teachers that I have that are on my Facebook page or anywhere, or not even on my Facebook page, but that are on my that follow me or know what I'm about. Teachers, you guys need to be responsible enough to teach about the black community, not just Black History Month and learning about Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. Teach us about us throughout the year. One thing that is not taught in America is the black history, the true American history. White people tend to want to cover up what they want and shield their kids from the oppression, this oppression, that, because they want America to be the American dream place where everybody comes to be. But to tell you the truth, that American dream has never been there. It never has been. America has been giving lethal injections to people's minds of what they want America to be and to be believed to be. And here to tell you, my people, America was made by slaves. I have an episode that is going to be coming up this week entitled $400 billion. I want you guys to watch that episode because America, we have, as black people, they say that we are not ones to ever, we are ones to never make any money. We're not never to amount to anything. this is the honest episode that I will ever have on this show. $400+ billion that America has generated to the national economical wealth of white people. You know, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say. I'm gonna let you guys go to the story that is out currently right now with Sharon Osbourne. I'm pretty sure you guys may have heard about it. And Chris Harrison. We need to, when white people say racial comments, and then they backtrack and say, "Well, I'm seeking racial therapy, or I have racial influences in my life. My friends are black people, or this, that, and the third." We need to start to hold white people accountable to what they say. The workplace is too toxic. The suffrage for women is too toxic. Black women. This thing called melatonin. Everybody talks about melatonin, but a lot of people don't know what it is. It's what makes black people dark-skinned. Let's boil it down to the dummy that doesn't know what it is. Melatonin is what makes your skin darker. That's what they say, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. If you ever heard of that. They hate it. White people hate it. Let's be real. Let's be candid. White people hate it. And a lot of people can say that it's because they hate us because they ain't us. It could be because they genuinely just don't like our skin tone color, or like the fact that we operate ourselves being bellicose, big, and black. But we need to hold them accountable to what they say and not accept their apologies anymore. It's one thing to forgive, but it's one thing to be stupid and be what's the word I'm looking for? I guess you could say naive. You know, white people say a lot of things, and here's the thing. I know a lot of people are like, well, why you say white people and not just specifically mention people? Well, when you talk about black people, you guys generalize us all, so I'm generalizing all you guys. And if you guys don't like it, then hey, you can dish it, you can take it. You know, you guys treat us all the same anyway, so I'm treating you guys all the same too. But I have yet not once ever seen a white person actually stand up in their own community and bash their own community, torment their own community, and tell their own people what they've done and are doing to blacks is wrong. I've not yet once seen it happen. And I'm not talking about marching with Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. I'm talking about specifically, I've yet to see a public figure or anyone stand up in the white community and bash and torment and cause destruction against the very foundation that has been a poison to black communities across the world, not just the United States, but Africa as a whole. You know, if you look at the commercials, they only show Africa as being this poor country. They don't show the rich side of Africa. They don't show the beautiful pyramids and the Egyptian women and men, and hell, they even turned Cleopatra black. I mean, Cleopatra white. Come on now. You know, they only show the poor sides of Africa because they want you to see us as only animals, less than, we ain't gonna amount to nothing. You know, there was a recent study that came out that said that Hollywood passes up annually over $10 billion in revenue a year on black stories, black movies, black entertainment, because they just don't like us because we're black, simply black. Simply black. That's all it is. It ain't got nothing to do with how we talk. It ain't got nothing to do with how we phrase things, how we walk. It's literally just our skin tone color. That's all it is. Ain't that something? That's sad. But we need to hold white people accountable. Every single white person. I don't care if you've been a lover of black people and you're married to a black woman, got mixed racial kids, or you're a white woman married to a black man. I don't care. Every white person, man, woman, needs to be held accountable. Because they hold us accountable for everything that another black man or black woman does. So we need to hold them accountable too. Don't accept their apologies when they apologize for something they said racial. You know? Or you see them hanging out on plantations. Oh, you ain't seen my episode about that. Check that out. America still has plantations in this country today. America is a plantation. Let's get it real. America is a business. If America's not making money, America's worthless. America is a transactional country. America does for them, they do for us. And my mom always told me that China can come over here and rule us. And they can. Because everything they make for us is made in China. The only reason why China hasn't come over here and destroyed America is because they see usage out of America. And as long as America can make China money, or at least those top-notch people money, then America will always stay in effect. But the only way that America got there was by black people. $400+ billion, y'all. Let's start to invest in black people. You know, let's create a dent in the white man's economical wealth. It's hard. And this episode that I'm going to be speaking on is very real, because it was something that was said to me recently by a friend that I had to speak on. Watch this episode. It's the episode is 1 hour and 20 minutes, but I promise you, the 1 hour and 20 minutes is going to be, this episode is something worth watching. The previous episodes that I've uploaded, they're all worth watching, but the first couple of episodes was all about the election for me. But this time around, I'm truly navigating through the waters of what it means to be black. My motto for the show, which I'm trademarking as we speak, is called Things That Meet the Eye Daily. Because we don't talk about the things that meet the eye daily. We talk about what's happened to this famous person, or what's happening in the government right now, or what's happening here, what's happening there. But we never talk about the things that affect everyday lives. So, that's what my show is about. Forget the styles, the hairstyles, the outfits I wear, things of that nature. That's just something to add a little charisma to the show that I bring. But what truly matters is what comes out of my mouth that I speak about. And America has been a lethal injection to society for a long time now. We need to call these white people on out what they do. And don't just let it slide by because they gave a fake-ass apology, something that didn't mean anything. And say they're taking racial therapy classes, they have black friends, they didn't mean it, or it was misconstrued. Because they say what they mean, and they mean what they say. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys check out this upcoming episode this Sunday. It's entitled $400 billion. This Sunday, every Sunday. And make sure you guys also check out The Light of the Sunday. You know, I try to add a little, I don't want to throw a whole bunch of negativity or quote-unquote negativity at your day, because Sunday is supposed to be a light, insightful day, get you ready for the week. So if you watch The Light of the Sunday, there's like just jamming out to music, old school music, you know, nothing new age, because I'm old school, brother. But so check that out. But remember that if one thing has taught me in this past year, over all the years that I've been on this earth, because I've been here for going on 2 decades and 1 year coming up soon, but technically 2 decades because I'm still 20. What I've been taught is because my mother never taught me, which I also mentioned on the show countless times. My mother never taught me how to be a black man, as far as what to expect, like the watch out for the police, watch out for this, watch out for that. And I was grateful for that, because I never had to hinder myself to my blackness and being black, you know, I was able to celebrate my blackness by evolving into it over time. And one thing that has been taught to me anything that has been said and done, the number one thing that has never been spoken to me that I've learned this past year is that black people are not a singular entity. Meaning that black people, they try to keep throwing us out, singling us out, doing like as far as excluding us. They've tried to make us extinct, but we're still here. Let's continue this fight. And every black person needs to do their part. Men, raise your kids. Mothers, raise your children. Educate them in and out of the school. Teach them the good side as much as you teach them about the bad side of being black. Get them books. Get them, because you know they're not going to teach it in school. They're not. And it's sad that even though it's not part of the curriculum, teachers won't take out the time to do it. But you want to know why? It's because it's so gruesome and hard to talk about. But yet, aren't they the ones that did it to us? So they should be able to talk about it, you know. When the devil relives his conquest. The devil speaks on the things he's done to people. And he basks in the ambiance and the glory of it. Why can't white people do the same? If you wreak havoc upon a society, you should be able to then, I mean, you didn't do all that to not end up speaking about it or glorifying about it. And I'm not saying they should celebrate it. I'm just saying that, why is it hard for you to talk about? Because you don't want your kids to see you in that light? Well, if you don't want your kids to see you in that light, why are you doing it? And there's always a teeny pinch of racism in every white person. All it takes is that one right thing that pulls it out of them, and it shows them, and it's in every single one of them. Even the ones that say they got black friends, or they love black people, or they marching at the protests. Every single one has a tinge of racism in it. Every single one. It's sad, but it's the truth. Black people need to know their worth. We need to know it. We need to get used to it, y'all. And let's stop allowing them to continue to inject us with lethal injections, lethal doses of oppression, disgust. A lot of us as black people are disgusted to be black. Not because of our own kind, but because white people, they have injected the minds with lethal doses of this is what it means to be American or be a person. You can't dress like this. You can't look like this. You can't talk like this. All because our cultures are different. We can be separate but equal. We can all have different cultures and things and still be equal. I believe that. The minds of everyone that lives in America is that black people can't have anything by themselves. You always need a leg up from the white man, or we aren't strong enough to do things by ourselves. You know, let's look out for our own, y'all. And make sure y'all check out this new episode coming up this Sunday. Also check out the Light of the Sunday. And let's do better as black people. And let's hold white people accountable for everything they do. Every little thing. We need to push for Joe Biden to create laws specifically tailored for blacks and not minorities. We need to get legislations passed specifically for black people, not minorities, because the things that happen to blacks aren't happening to Mexicans, Asians, Filipinos, Hawaiians, Mexicans, I think I said Mexicans, Hispanics. It's not happening to them. They're happening to us. So when Joe Biden and I say Joe Biden because he's the top of the realm. He's at the top. You know, and it's sad, but you look to the top for everything. But I look to everyone that is in public office. We need to hold them accountable when passing laws. They need to be tailored specifically for blacks, not for everyone, because not everything that's happening to blacks is happening to everybody else. The things that are happening to black people are not happening to anyone else. And I can guarantee you that. It's not happening to anyone else but us. But us. So yes, the marching, yes, the legislation's passed, but for us, and only for us. So I see y'all this Sunday. Peace and love. I hope y'all had a good Monday. Hope y'all have a blessed rest of your week. Stay blessed and highly favored. Don't forget to wear your mask if you go out. Don't be stupid and not wear your mask. That's the last thing I gotta say for y'all. But take out some time and love on black people. Educate yourself, because we are the best creatures in the world, if you ask me. There ain't nobody like us. Our culture, if you look at the African black culture, we have taken white people's poison that they've given us and turned it into riches and gold. When we were slaves, they gave us scraps. So why they make fun of us with watermelon and fried chicken and all this stuff like that. They forget that the chitlins, the ham hocks, the fat back, and all that stuff like that, we took that and made riches and gold out of it. Made it good for us. And they can't stand it. And that's nothing I mention on my show. White people can't stand that we take everything that they throw at us and turn it around for our good. But the number one reason why we can do that is because our Lord and Savior. Study us, y'all. Teach about us. White people teach your kids. When they ask mom, dad, why are black people doing this or white people doing that, don't say because they're crazy. Don't say because they're angry. Explain, and yet that is a good reason. Sometimes we crazy, sometimes we angry, but explain why we are. There's always an explanation for why black people do things. Especially in this day and age with the racial profiling, the racial discrimination, everything. And remember, black people, we're not poor. White people want you to think that. The projects, the ghettos, the hood. They want you to think that and stay there. But only you can allow your stuff to stay in a four-wall perimeter in your mind. If you allow them to do that to you. Don't let them do that to you. Brothers, don't let them do that to you, because you're a necessity, an essential piece to the black African fabric. Mothers, sisters, daughters, you are an essential part. You make up the little intricate pieces to the black community, to the African community. And the last thing I'm going to say before I go is, Nigeria, I stand with you. We're still praying for you guys, for equality, end SARS. Get educated though, y'all. And watch John Singleton's Higher Learning. And rest in peace to that wonderful brother, because he was a poet in himself. With all the movies he wrote, that was a strong brother that left way too soon, y'all. But I'll see y'all this Sunday. Hope y'all have a good night. Sleep well. Hope y'all adjust into this daylight savings time. But I'll see y'all later. Peace and love, y'all.